Hello Gunpla fans, this is Joe of Joe's Gunpla here with another video, and we're going to do an in-depth unboxing of the Master Grade Gundam Fenice Rinascita. I have the manual here, and the back of the manual. And before I go through the rest of this, let's get to the runners. Starting with the A plate. Looks like quite a few bits for the shield, and that would be the butt plate, the yellow for the wings, the two beam effect parts for the weapons, clear green parts for the shield, eyes, and chest, and then a few little yellow detail parts here and there, and the wings for the face. B plate has gray frame parts, mostly for the skirt armor and the main body, along with some of the weapons parts as well. Looks like here is for the shield, and this is for the main gun. The C plate, we get two of those. Set one of them aside. This looks like leg frame parts here. That'd be for the knee. Some more stuff for the knee joint. More inner leg stuff. The vents and thrusters on the side of the leg. Shoulder bits. Some ammo canisters. And the D plate. Sort of an off-white cream color, slightly sandy, I guess, in tone. Got the V-fin here, parts for the head and face and chest, pilot figures, front skirt armors, and this appears to be parts for the shield, and that'd be the crotch, and I think this is for the back skirt. The E-runner, oops, let me clear that out. There we go. E-runner, you get two of those, and it's going to be armor parts for the arms, shoulders, legs here, and I believe this is for the wings. Let you get a good look at that. F plate has a lot of parts for the beam rifle itself, the back of the leg, back of the knee, backpack, and chest vents. However, this is a plate from the Master Grade Wing Gundam TV version, so most likely not all of this will be used. Running into some familiar territory with the G plate, this is the XXXG frame Runner 1 with the hands, back of the head for something. I'm not sure if that was a universal back of the head piece or not. Chest, skirt armors, but these I know will not be used. The waist unit itself, more hand parts up here, the cockpit, and looks like this was originally parts for the shield, but I don't, again, know if those will be used in this particular variant. Runner H, XXG frame, XXXG frame 2. And we've got two of these, again, very familiar parts if you've built any of the EW kits. Again, not sure what of this is going to be used. This part here is part of the shoulder joint in the EW kits. It broke on two of mine. I had to order spare parts. I had to go through various means to get them. And this part is not used. So if I just held out for this kit, I would have not had to order those parts. Let's see, we got parts for the feet and the knees and lower legs, but those won't be used. Upper thighs, I don't know if those are used. Honestly, I'm not sure what on this frame is used for this kit. Like I said, you get 2 of those. Next up, we have the I-1 and 2. So the I-2 has everything except for the body parts here. So let's go ahead and review this plate. These are going to be for the vents on the side of the legs, the thrusters, part of the arm guards, big pieces of the wings, shoulders, ankle joints, knee, more knee stuff. This is going to be the beam emitter for the beam cape. And all sorts of fun looking things. Let's look at the chest here. There you go, front and back. Looks like part of the cockpit here. Very cool. And almost done. We've got the J1 and 2. J2 has everything J1 has. We'll set that aside. J2 has more parts for the wings, some cool vents here, parts for the feet, and then we've got the V-fin centerpiece, the face chin, and the lower torso. Rather small plate. Not a lot of red on this kit, but that's okay. And the K plate, we get 2 of those. They are exactly the same. It's going to be for the beam cape itself. Centerpiece, 2 frilly things on the end there. I really love the detail on that. If my camera will focus. There we go. Just those digital lines going across there. I really think that gives a cool effect. The emitter centerpiece here, and then the joints. I really wonder how well this is going to hold up. Clear plastic tends to be rather brittle, so I'm wondering if those joints are going to hold up in the end, or if they're going to end up shattering as we put them on. So be very careful when you are assembling this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that now. I can already tell you, if you are too forceful, the clear plastic will shatter. That's just the nature of the beast. Alright, last but not least, for the actual Gundam itself, we have some polycaps. Very familiar back attachment piece here. That's been used on all of the Wing Gundam kits that I can remember so far. So you can switch out backpacks and fun stuff like that. Pretty standard fare for the polycaps. And the last bit of runners in the kit are actually for the new action base. You get the base all as one. Now, the original action base had holes seemingly at random, but these are very clearly in a grid pattern. So that'll make positioning of the arm rather easy. Parts for the new main arm here and the base. This is going to be one of the locking mechanisms and an attachment for various kits here. This is going to be the sub-arm, like the support arm. And this appears to be the sub-arm peg to go into the base itself. And the last plate is going to have the mechanism inside of the main arm that's going to allow it to raise and lower. Has a new locking mechanism, as you can see. Instead of that round peg that kind of locks into place, it's going to have a series of notches. A ratcheting piece here, most likely to position the top of the base where it attaches to the kit. Various levers for locking positions and such. The extension of the base. This one, instead of having just 3, it has the additional of the other 2, so you have a nice 5-die thing there. And then these 2 pieces here are obviously for the main arm that'll go into the base itself. Alright, let's move on to the manual here. Again, a nice shot of the front, and open it up, and we have a nice little layout, a little backstory of the mobile suit itself, front and back shot. A little bit on the build fighter. The character, of course, is Riccardo Fellini. Plavsky particle explanation, blah blah blah. A little more backstory, whatever. Okay, cool. So this is going to talk about basically just your overall explanation of how the manual works, things you need to watch out for, what the symbols mean. This kit, you only get marking seals. There are no dry transfers. You do get some foil stickers as well. And basic instructions on how to clip out parts and trim them and make sure you get those nubs, otherwise parts don't clip together very well. And we've got a list of the runners here, which we've just gone over. Some of the parts you don't use quite a bit on this runner here, which is that XXXG frame 2. And a whole bunch of stuff. That's the new runners for the action base, and the rest of the runners as shown. Let me go through the instructions here. Start off with the torso, which tends to be well, what most manuals are starting with as of late. Head unit, and then the arms. The arms on this kit are identical, just mirrored, so nothing super special about either one of the arms in particular. Leg units are also identical, left to right, just mirrored. And then the waist unit. Putting the final assembly together, and then we get to the splash pages in the center. Nice little battle scene here with all sorts of the allies in that final battle of Abawaku. It does transform. A little more information about the color guide. We've got the pilot here, and it says here if you panel line, it's going to look a whole lot better. Some information about how it's going to hold the weapons, the transformation on the new action base. Nice little action picture there. And we've got one weapon, the other beam weapon that also has a beam blade on it as shown here. And it comes apart and you can have a little pistol. So it's showing off the weapons. Next up, we're going to go for the backpack, which I completely forgot about. You'd think I'd remember the wings, but there you go. So the assembly thus far looks pretty similar to the Wing Gundam TV version. And then you go on to the wings here. It shows you all the maneuvering you can do. Looks like those red parts twist. That's actually a pretty cool thing. Going on to the weapons, we've got the main Buster rifle there. Move on to the sub rifle, I guess you would call it. Like I said, it comes apart into a mini beam pistol. Then we've got the shield itself here, and taking it apart, you can I believe you can put the beam saber. Yep, put the beam saber inside there. How it's going to hold the weapons, and there we go, holding weapons again. How you can take the gun apart. Transformation of the two weapons, how they come apart, the beam capes. Let me move on to the action base here, which is pretty cool. Final assembly of the action base shows you all the locking mechanisms and how well it can move around, so you can position your kit, and finally attaching the Gundam onto it. Then it goes over the transformation. Looks like the shoulders actually fold down. The arms open up. There you go, legs fold up, which we're all pretty familiar with if you've built a Wing Gundam or any of its derivatives. And mounting the shield, mounting the weapons on the bottom, and how to attach it onto the action base itself. And finally, the final last page shows you how to apply all the markings and where they go. And finally, on the back, we have a nice picture of the Fenice Rinascita. Like I said, you only get two kinds of markings. You get the nice foil stickers. Let me see if I can get a focus in on that. There we go. It's kind of shiny. Focus. Okay, I think that's about the best we're going to get. I guess my camera's being stubborn today. That's okay. So you got some green for the sensors on the shield, the head, and the chest, and then the eyes, of course. And then lots of markings, warnings, and serial numbers, and all sorts of things like that. Fellini Ricardo. It's actually rather frustrating that my camera doesn't want to focus any further. There we go. Get a good look at those markings. Very cool looking. Alright, so I am going to get started on this guy tonight. Hoping to have him finished by tomorrow night, and we'll do a review. And until next time, guys, happy building, and I'll see you later.